Lexington community, this Wildcat football preview show is the damn rivalry version, and it's brought to you this week by the Root Cellar, more Lexington graduates supporting the Wildcast and all of our Lexington athletics, specifically football. Ashley Sims and her family with 2 locations in downtown Lexington and Batesburg. Awesome menu. Go check them out if you haven't already, and we thank them for their support and partnership. I'm Athletic Director Dustin Curtis, along with head football coach Stuart Young. And today our guest, our DL coach, Wisconsin native, avid Green Bay Packer fan. Maybe we can dive into that tie, me being a Cowboys fan a second ago, Coach Schiedermayer. And he brought with him junior defensive lineman Grayson Kelley. Guys, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Coach Schiedermayer, do you want to go ahead and get out your quick thoughts about the Cowboys-Packers tie and why we still allow ties in the NFL?
Ties in the NFL are one of the strangest rules ever, and I'd like to pass on talking about the Packers right now because we've lost to the Browns and then tied the Cowboys. So let's get focused on Wildcat football, please.
I am guessing you put the Browns on the same level as the Cowboys.
Yeah, and that's a pretty low level. Ground level, I would believe we would call that. Ground level.
I know that there's some other Cowboys fans listening, and God, we are on the struggle bus. So anyway, moving on. Coach Young, last week we got off to a hot start on both sides of the ball. I do want to point out, sometimes it's funny how momentum can strike early, and I think Lawrence came out with some trickeration on the first play on a reverse, and who knows how that could have spirited their kids. But it looked like that thing had a chance to go the distance, and senior corner Lawson Ott made probably the most open field tackle of the season, I think, thus far, taking that kid to the ground. I think he ended up with like a gain of 10 or 12, so they got a first down on the first play. But then after that, we kind of settled in, never looked back, believe we were up 28-0 at half, got it done both in the air and on the ground. Nigel Lewis had right at 100 yards receiving. Markel Byrd led the team on the ground. Good performance by Easton Crocker. Really were able to spread the ball around to a lot of guys Friday night. Coach, the offense looked good last 2 games, averaging over 30 points the last 2 weeks, and they're turning a corner after a slower start to the season. Just kind of what are your thoughts overall about the Lawrence game and the offense kind of revving up a little bit?
Well, we knew they would have some trickeration. We didn't know it would be the first play. But we didn't flinch at all because we had told them all week they're gonna do something. Don't let it rattle you. And yeah, Lawson made a really, really good tackle. Offensively, I told our guys we looked. The Gilbert game was a odd game in itself with the delay and the first game of the year and all of that stuff. But you go back to the North Augusta, we 3 points and then 17 in Midland Valley and then 30. At Greenwood and then 35 against Lawrence. So yeah, we definitely, statistically at least, have turned the corner as far as scoring points. But that's the goal of any team, is to improve every day, not just every game, but every day. And I think our offense has started to show that.
We'll talk about some defensive players. I know I mentioned some of the offensive guys, sparking that side of the ball, but we kept them out of the end zone last week, a shutout. Multiple three and outs, bunch of forced turnovers. What kids kind of led the charge last week in that rainy game Friday?
Well, I always hate to name names because you might forget somebody, but this guy sitting beside me played very good. Grayson played really well up front, along with all of them. Linebackers, Cam Morris, I think led the team in tackles. But all of our linebackers, Caleb Schroed does a really good job of kind of leading that pack. And defensive back, we've talked about it. They didn't have much of an air game. Obviously, the weather probably affected some of that. But we were in our positions, and we flew around and we were tough, and that's what we asked for. And so, really excited for Coach Kiesler and the work he's done, and all of our defense coaches, Coach Schiedermayer and all of us for getting a shutout. So that was important for him.
Well, Coach Schiedermayer, you're kind of one of you and Trevor Hudson, not that Trevor's coaching football anymore, but y'all were kind of the long-standing guys here on campus. How long have you been at LHS now?
This is my 9th year teaching at Lexington.
Okay. And so Coach is from Wisconsin, so give the listeners just a brief background of you growing up. Where'd you play college football and what brought you down to South Carolina?
I'm from Kimberly, Wisconsin, turned into a football powerhouse up there now, but wasn't Yeah, once I left.
Once they got you out?
Yeah, definitely. And it actually worked out not worked out that way, but happened that way. Didn't go so well my junior and senior year. Coaches had to make a change, and since then, I think they're up to 8 or 9 state championships in the last 15 years. My nephew's on the team now, so I hope they get 2 more. He's a junior wide receiver up there. After high school, I got the opportunity to play at Wisconsin-Stevens Point, Division III, small school in central Wisconsin. Didn't turn out any big NFL players. Had a couple kids get trials. But what we did turn out is a lot of football coaches. I got a former teammate that's a coach out in South Dakota. I think they've won 5 or state championships out there. I got a former coach who's the head coach of North Dakota State right now.
Wow.
Got a former teammate who's the head coach at Wake Forest right now. I know a former coach is a head coach in Ohio. So I kind of followed in that, you got to learn the game when you play small ball. You got to learn the ins and outs, and that really helped me in my coaching career.
You played with the head coach at Wake Forest?
He was a junior and senior wide receiver my freshman and sophomore year. Yes. Jake Dickert.
Okay.
I don't know if he remembers me, but I
You're
played.
talking about Wake Forest High School?
No, I'm talking Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons.
Head coach of what sport?
Football.
What's his name?
Jacob Dickert.
Oh, that's right. The other guy's gone.
Yes.
I can't even remember.
They moved. He's this year. I play. His brother played offensive line with me, Jesse Dickert.
Okay.
Clausen.
I Dave Clausen. That's right. He's gone. I had totally forgotten about that. Well, that's pretty cool. So, and you brought with you DL Grayson Kelley. Is he any good at football, Coach?
He's pretty dang good at football. He's getting a lot better. One really, really good thing about Grayson is that he wants to get better every single day, and it inspires a lot of the other players and D linemen. Quiet guy, goes about his business, but he does his thing every single day, and it's awesome to watch. Awesome to watch him growing as a football player too.
Yeah. Well, Grayson, I'd like to call you a well-rounded athlete, as you also play lacrosse for Coach Popoli, and that takes a totally different skill set. You play defense in lacrosse?
Oh yes, sir.
Okay, so he plays defense in lacrosse too, but there is not a lot of football translation to stick handling at all. I mean, there's some contact that you have and stuff, and I'm sure being a football player helps you there. But tell us what you love about playing D-line, and maybe how lacrosse does tie into what you do on Friday nights and how you feel like it maybe helps you stay in shape as an athlete, etc.
Oh yes, sir. So definitely for me, it's very different, like going from football to lacrosse in the fall to like the spring, because you have a hand in the dirt, and then you go from having to use your hands to be good at the sport.
Yeah.
So I would just say my conditioning from lacrosse to football definitely helps me a lot, because like I see all these other kids and they're like dying from workouts, and I'm like, I'm running probably 3 miles of practice at least every day. So it's not good for like helping gain weight, but it's good for conditioning.
That's for sure. I'll confirm that.
Maybe it's better than wrestling though.
Yes.
So players of the week last week were Boho MVP Cam Morris, Pizza Hut Wildcat of the week Grant Garrick, Clemson Insurance Special Teams Player of the week Colin Davis, Root Cellar Offensive MVP Easton Crocker, and Dooley Law Defensive Player of the week right here with us, the Grayson Kelley. Coach, anything you want to highlight from these guys' performance last week?
Yeah, I'll go in order. Cam, scored a touchdown as well to open up the scoring, as well as leading the team in tackles. And so coming off an injury from last year to come in here and be a two-way player for us is very –
I'd say that's MVP. Worthy. A touchdown and led the team in tackles?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Grant had a huge catch. Man, I wish he could have kept his feet. He deserved that touchdown. He can fly, and he got open, and we hit him, and shoot, he tripped up, but – he's just done everything right since I've been here, and it's been impressive to watch him have a great attitude and continue to practice hard. Colin, we kicked off a bunch, and most of them were touchbacks, but one of them we didn't have a touchback. Colin, who is a junior, who doesn't get a lot of defensive playing time, he went hard down the field and made a big time tackle, so we gave him the player of the week there. And then Easton, he's continuing to get better and better, and he's improving. In fact, the team in the locker room, the weight room yesterday, they wanted him to break it down. So that shows that he's earned the trust of his teammates. And then right here, Grayson is just steady Eddie. He does everything we ask him to do. And when I got here last spring, I think you weren't in weightlifting class at the time because of lacrosse season, so
yes, sir.
He kind of didn't get to know you until springtime, spring practice, but he's a great kid to coach, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for him in football next year and lacrosse in the next 2 years.
I did think, not that it wasn't like a tight window or anything, but that the touchdown pass to Nigel, he was wide open, maybe busted coverage or whatever, but the way Easton stepped up in the pocket on that one, got the ball out so quick, kind of on the move, so to speak, moving forward and kind of flicked it up there. That's
one when you say he's not playing like a freshman anymore. That was a mature pocket presence throw right there.
Probably didn't see that against Gilbert.
No.
Well, Coach Schiedermayer, our defensive box has been strong so far this season. Really controlled the run for the most part. My guess is either the scrambling quarterback at Greenwood or the tailback at North Augusta maybe had the most rushing yards against us, but the North Augusta really didn't churn most of those out till late. Well, what makes our team so tough up front, in your opinion?
We got a lot of different guys up front, a lot of different bodies, a lot of different types of players. Victor, bigger, stronger, holds down double teams at nose tackle. Mason, strong kid, fast on the edge. Grayson, long arms, does everything he's coached up. One pleasant surprise so far this year, Malachi Lights coming in, does whatever we ask against North Augusta. We asked him to cut a D1 center every time he was in to slow down their run game, as you mentioned, and he did it. And that's what makes us so tough up front. Linebackers, they just want to hit. Cam Morris is a missile everywhere he goes. Jacob Schroet coming in. Charlie Oates, Andrew Torzansky, AT. If I said that last name wrong, I'm sorry, AT. But our box is they're just a bunch of guys that want to play together, do the things right. They do their job, and then they run the ball. And we hit, and we hit, and we hit. And by the third quarter, a lot of high school running backs, quarterbacks don't want to get hit over and over and over. Right. They slow down, and then we're getting them even more. So It is just a fun group. They come to work every day. They're a pleasure to coach, and it shows on the field on Friday nights, and they deserve all the success they're getting so far this year.
Well, I can tell you right now, you just set an older brother up to talk a little trash to a younger brother when you said Jacob Schroet instead of Caleb Schroet.
Oh, I did say.
I like that, though. Hopefully Jacob will listen.
I kind of want to redo this now because I don't want Schroet mad at me anymore.
Grayson, we've played some good athletes so far in various offensive backfields, and we talked specifically about a couple, but who stands out to you so far, opponent-wise, who was the toughest to tackle?
As you already mentioned, I would definitely say the running back from North Augusta, just like his elusiveness, and he's also a very big back for definitely high school. You would think he's gonna go to college, but Tristan Lewis from Greenwood, he was very fast. I mean, he's taller than me. He's probably 6'4", and he was very fast. Whenever I was running after him, I'm like, wow, South Carolina's getting somebody. It's crazy, but.
Yeah, he was pretty smooth looking for sure, and the quarterback from Midland Valley certainly wasn't a slouch either. I forget the young man's name, apologies, but I thought we quarterback wise back-to-back weeks played some pretty smooth operating guys there. So hey, moving on to the old school Lake Murray Dam rivalry, we head down Highway 6 over Lake Murray to Irmo High School tonight. That's obviously the original LHS rivalry long before White Knoll or River Bluff existed. And I remember my sophomore year, first time playing on varsity. I'm not sure I really looked at any team that we played like, oh God, these guys look huge, until we went over to Irmo, and their uniforms looked exactly like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Every now and then they'd wear solid black pants, but for the most part it was exactly like Pittsburgh. And they looked to me as a sophomore about as big as the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. They had a quarterback that went on to play at the Citadel. I know their running back went somewhere too. 2 D linemen, one played at South Carolina, one at Clemson. They had a linebacker that was really good, and we lost a tough one. Little side note that I learned this summer from Coach Leapart, Coach Damone Leapart, former trainer, the Walking Wildcat History book. He says the first time any Lexington team wore a black uniform was back in his playing days, and I can't remember who the coach said it was back then, but he said he broke out the black jerseys, and you hear Damone tell you the story in his old Gilbert country voice, and he says, Coach said these are our we mean business uniforms, and they went over there and upset Irmo and got a big win. So hopefully that's a great precursor to us going over there and doing some good things tonight. But they are a top 3 team in the state. Look to be having a special season so far. And Coach Young, what jumps off of the film about the Yellow Jackets before we really get into some detailed numbers?
What doesn't jump off would be the appropriate question. First of all, I got a lot of talent. I think all 4 D linemen have scholarship offers or opportunities. I think 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen are the same. Got a lot of new kids there. At Irmo. Must be an attractive place to go to school. But anyway, really good, well coached. I tell you, they are well coached. They've got 2 quarterbacks that can go. They've got multiple receivers that they can plug in, and you don't know the difference when you see it on film. Running backs, a guy from last year's back, and they've got another one now that can really go as well. Actually, 2 or 3. Really speedsters as well for the kicking game. They can return kicks. Got a really good kicker who can kick it anywhere, and they're a really good team. I mean, there's no denying that they are a solid football team. But I like our guys. Our guys are tough, like Coach said, and we're coachable. And I love going to work with our guys every single day. Wouldn't trade them for anybody. But yeah, Irmo is a solid football team, no doubt about it, and well coached, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, offensively, they're averaging 44 points a game. They did graduate A.J. Brand at QB from last year. Went up to Virginia Tech. I think he was pretty much the consensus region player of the year last year. And but Coach Schiedermayer, what other weapons do they have that the defense has to look at to slow down tonight?
Coach Young kind of alluded to this. All of them.
Yeah.
They're not weak anywhere, which makes them a really, really good team, if not great team. Numbers, just throw some out. Numbers 2, 3, 5, 8, 10. 15, 23, 24, 25. The O-line has got a bunch of offers. I think their best O-lineman probably goes underneath the radar, number 75, one of their guards. Mm-hmm. But I like the challenge. I know our guys like the challenge.
Sure.
We've been in this position so far this year. Haven't been favored in many of our games, and that's fine. We're going to come out there tonight. We're going to do our thing. We're going to see where the scoreboard ends up, after 4 quarters. It's going to be a fun game.
Absolutely. Last year they were obviously really talented. Again, they played for a state championship, and it was a darn dogfight, well into the third quarter. And so certainly we expect our guys to come out hungry and playing hard. But speaking of a weapon, you start doing your little research on them and start looking at their numbers. Slot receiver Malik Miller, I believe, is number 3. And he's someone who clearly they involve a lot. He's got around 100 yards rushing. He leads the team in receiving at around 450. Dynamic player for sure. Anyone you feel like we've seen so far from other teams that athletically compares to that kind of athlete, Coach Young?
Not that type of athlete, probably not. That slot type of quick receiver, but they'll put him in the backfield as well. So I don't think we've seen anybody that could do what he's done position-wise. Now, athletically, I know Grayson mentioned earlier the running back from North Augusta and the quarterback from Greenwood. I mean, athletically, they're dynamic as well, but I don't know if they could play multiple positions like this guy can.
Kind of a little Swiss Army knife, huh?
Yes.
Well, the Irmo defense is allowing 22 points per game, but have played against some top-flight offenses, you would say. The Burns Rebels got a couple recruitable kids, especially that running back. And then Oceanside, who actually defeated Dutch Fork recently, just to kind of name a few. But tell us about how they look on defense and what challenges do they bring to the Wildcat offense.
Like I mentioned earlier, they're very, very talented. They're one of those keep it simple defenses because they've got the players that can go after it and disrupt the run game with 4 down linemen and 1 linebacker in the box and shut down the passing game, and just very difficult. I was watching the Burns game, and they had a goal line stand, and those D linemen just came flying up like bullets. Boom, boom, boom. Just tough team. But, yeah, they're very fast and very physical. I'm sure Coach Wilder and our offensive staff will have a good, solid plan to try to attack whatever weakness they may have. I don't know if they have one. But we'll figure something out. We'll have a plan. We'll be prepared, I can assure you.
Yeah, definitely difficult in high school ball to move the ball consistently on teams that are, I guess you'd kind of say, loaded at 4 down. At any level of football, if you can control the line of scrimmage in the run game with 4 down linemen, that opens up a lot of things for you to be able to do on defense. But Grayson, we're jumping into region play, and you guys started off the year with a great win against rival Gilbert. Lost 3 close games, competitive games, especially Midland Valley and Greenwood. Are you proud of how you and the team stayed together, responded, and what do you personally tell yourself to kind of stay locked in even when you have to go through some adversity?
Oh, so definitely for me, I just am so proud of our offense, like the way they've handled adversity, going from Gilbert, which they played really well, to the North Augusta, where they kind of like stagnated. Yeah. But they keep getting better every week. And for our defense, I expect nothing less. Like for us, like if we lose and we don't play our best, we're going to be ready for practice the next week. But for me, whenever struggles hit, I just think, like Coach Young said at practice this week, we're 2 plays away from being 4-1. That just that drives me, and like I know how good we could truly be.
Yeah. Coach Schiedermayer, who else from your position group has stood out? I know you mentioned a couple, but has anyone made maybe specifically a huge jump in their impact on the team this year?
Well, Grayson sitting over here definitely has. Didn't know what to expect when he came in. As you mentioned earlier, really, really good lacrosse player. Played all spring, played all summer, kind of light on the scale when he came in, and doesn't back down from anyone.
And we were pretty senior-heavy last year on the D-line, so a lot of new faces. Really.
A lot of new faces. The other one, another junior, Malachi Lights. On JV last year, he played running back. I think we tried him at offensive line. He played a little D-line once in a while. Over the spring and summer, we said, you're full-time D-line, and the kids embraced it. And it's just been a pleasure to watch both the juniors, Grayson and Malachi, grow. Victor came back after taking a year sabbatical, we'll say, from football. And we were worried about his conditioning, but he worked himself into shape. And I do want to point this out for Victor. He played every snap at nose tackle in the Greenwood game against a top 10 team in the state, against all elite offensive linemen. And then Mason Toll's just been steady Eddie over there, like Coach Young said about Grayson. One thing about the D-line, though, and all the guys we have, the guys I haven't mentioned, they're all different personalities, and they make practice fun.
Yeah.
And they kind of feed off each other, and you got this guy who's, focused on building computer programs, and then you got this other athlete. We don't know what's going to come out of Mason Toll's mouth ever, but it's fun. It makes practice fun, which shows up when we go to Inside Run and team, and shows up on Friday nights when they're picking each other up. They may not be the best friends off practice field or off football field, but at practice they make everything fun, and it's a great group.
No, that's good to hear. So, all right, Grayson, we always want our listeners to be able to get to know our guests who are athletes a little bit, okay? So it's time for the little rapid fire section where you just respond first thing that comes to your mind about your favorites, okay?
Yes,
all right, so this is the little get to know Grayson. Favorite food?
Steak.
I love it. Favorite subject?
History.
Favorite song?
White Iverson by Post Malone.
White Iverson?
Yes, sir.
I like Post Malone. I haven't heard that one.
You should listen to it.
Is it like a country version, or is it?
Oh, it's not country.
No, that's like his first big hit.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. I went to the Posty concert. Favorite season, as in like spring, summer, winter, fall?
Oh, fall. Definitely.
Okay.
Football.
Is that like a weather thing, or just because it's football, or is it the combo?
Well, my 2 favorite weeks of the year are Christmas break, but I also love the week college football and NFL start up.
Okay.
That's my favorite week of the year, so definitely fall.
Favorite college team?
South Carolina.
Favorite NFL team?
Carolina Panthers.
Okay. That's kind of a double struggle sometimes, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible.
Favorite restaurant?
Backstreet's down in Columbia.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good one. Favorite sports team overall? If you could only watch one sports team the rest of your life?
Carolina Panthers. I've been struggling with them for this long. I got to see the Super Bowl.
Jay, when you struggle as a Packers fan, just remember you could be a Panthers fan.
Yeah, and I get mad at second-round exits out of the playoffs, and the Panthers just don't want to pick in the top 10. So kudos to you to stick with them, Grayson. In today's day and age of jumping ship, good job staying with them.
If you had to pick a career right now, Grayson, what would it be?
Oh, to be a sports announcer or a sports commentator.
Oh, there you go. You sound good on a mic.
Thank you.
How about that? Yeah.
Sure.
All right, well, thanks, Grayson. We look forward to watching you compete tonight. Coach Young, final thoughts tonight on your Wildcats. What do we need to do? Final thoughts on the Jackets, but how can we set ourselves up for success this evening?
Well, I know I say this every week. I feel like I know I say it's cliche, but we can't beat ourselves. All right, we can't do anything to beat ourselves. Penalty-wise, turnover-wise, those are battles that we must win to compete tonight. playing hard, playing physical, as Coach Schiedermayer alluded to earlier. We have to do that. I mean, those are non-negotiable. Those things right there have to happen. If one of those three, if we don't play hard, if we penalize ourselves and we turn it over and don't create more turnovers, that's gonna be a tough night. However, if we do those three things, I think you'll see a very competitive football team that's going to want it more and more as the game goes on, and that's what we're looking forward to. So I can't wait to watch us play. But the main thing, and I tell them this every week. I don't know if you read my letter that I.
Oh, I do.
But what's the last thing I say on there?
Have fun.
Have fun. Have fun. Enjoy the rivalry. This is a big time rivalry, and I, not being from here, I went to Presbyterian and had some friends from both ends of it, and they were always jawing with each other. And now I get a chance to enjoy it myself, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, since you mentioned that, I saw Ryan Maloney was one of your former teammates, right, at PC?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Coach, he was here last night or a couple nights ago for the volleyball game that his daughter was playing in, and he had on his PC polo, and he was real quick to point out that he hasn't really sported that around much in the last 5 years or so, especially the year they had the coach that would punt, whatever his name was. But how proud are you of your alma mater right now and how they're 5-0?
Yeah, I mean they're the only undefeated team, right?
How about that?
In the state, yeah. Proud of those guys. I think they're going to come by here, I think, tomorrow on a recruiting visit. So
that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, hey guys, thanks again for joining us, and thanks to Ashley and the Root Cellar for partnering with us. Thanks for today. Getting to know you guys a little bit better. We'll see you across the dam tonight, everybody, at Irmo High School, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. You guys have been awesome. Next week, we host the Chapin Eagles in Wildcat Hollow, so we'll be back then. That'll be game 2 of region play. But good luck tonight, fellas, and hail to thee.